Before we get started with the video, I would like to quickly mention that there is a 2024 subscriber decided election form, which in this Google form, you'd be able to fill out who will win each individual swing state based out of a hand-picked bunch of swing states that I have decided to include in this form. A video will be done on these results in the next coming months. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on On Point Politics, and today I'm going to be talking about alternate history for 2012 for the presidency with Donald Trump versus Barack Obama. I just want to kind of do this video just for fun. Currently we got to wait like until a few days till New Hampshire. My weekly uploads for the election prediction for this year are until Saturday. So the next couple of days, I'm going to be doing like some alternate history videos just to kind of get you guys familiar with how I analyze previous elections and whatnot. And so, without further ado, if you guys do like the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to turn on post bell notifications so you don't miss another video that I post. And without further ado, let's get into it. And so if you look at the 2012 results, Obama got 62 million votes, Romney got 59. In 2016, Trump managed to get 62 million votes. I think he might have slightly underperformed Obama. So for the sake of this prediction, we're going to say that the popular vote was basically tied because we're just matching Donald Trump's election results from 2016. And more than likely, I personally believe that in 2012, he probably would have gotten more votes than Obama, just because back then there was a lot less political correctness. The GOP establishment wouldn't have been so hard on him at the time. And I do think that he would have been able to perform exceptionally well. But for the sake of the video, we're going to say that it was a tied popular vote. Maybe Obama would have turned out a couple of more voters because maybe some people would have had some um not so good opinions of Trump either way. So maybe you could say that Obama maybe would have gotten 65 million. Trump maybe would have matched that. So for the sake of the video, we're going to say it was a tied popular vote. And so Donald Trump does win a lot of states by a safe margin. He's still not going to win Indiana by a safe margin. However, I do think it'd be really close. He'd win Texas very easily. He'd win South Carolina very easily. I do think he would still campaign as the MAGA guy. It would still be Make America Great Again. It would still be that kind of thing. And I think he would be, very against things like TPP. He would kind of hammer Obama on that. He would hammer the performance on the economy. As you know, the economy recovered very slowly, so Trump would have probably hit him there as well. And Trump would have been very anti-war in this election, which would have kind of helped him out, turn out some voters. He also would have been very strong on issues like illegal immigration, which would have also helped him out in this election. And so currently right now I am filling out some of these safe and likely states. I do think, let's check Alaska. Oh yeah, he definitely would have won it by a safe margin, 100%. If we look at Arizona, I think he would have won it by a likely margin, but it would be close to safe. Same thing for Georgia. I think he would have done good there too. I also think he does win North Carolina by a likely margin. I do think he performs very well there. And if we look at Florida, Florida was really close back then. So I do think because of that, he does win it very easily by a few points. You could see Obama barely won it by 0.88%, and I think Trump would get a good turnout there, so he would probably win the state. If you look back then, Colorado used to vote to the right of New Mexico, so I do think New Mexico would still be likely, but Colorado would be a lean state. It would probably be a 2.5 point victory for Obama. And if you look at the West Coast, they were slightly closer. I do think Trump would get them below 10 points, but I don't think they would have necessarily been, like under 5. Nevada, I think Trump would have gotten it down to like a 2.4 margin, just like 2016 and 2020. So the shift to the right would have continued a lot earlier. Now, I do think that Trump would probably still, I think Obama would win New York, but I think that it would be a lot closer. I think he would get it down to like an 18, 19 point win. That's my personal opinion, and we're kind of left with the Rust Belt here. I do think that more than likely Trump probably would have won Virginia in this timeline. He more than likely would have picked it off. He also probably would have picked off Ohio, which puts him at 266 electoral votes. Obama would have probably gotten a lean margin in New Hampshire, and more than likely would have probably gotten a lean performance in that main second district, which leaves some of the Rust Belt states up for grabs. Now, for example, I do think Michigan would have gone to Obama, but it wouldn't have been a likely margin. And I also think Minnesota would have been the same case. Now, unfortunately for Obama, I think he would have slightly underperformed in Iowa. I think it would be a close one, but I think Trump would barely pick it off, which would put him over the finish line. It would put him at 272 electoral votes. And I do think in this timeline, I think Wisconsin does vote to the left of Pennsylvania. So I do think Trump does get Pennsylvania, and Obama barely holds on to Wisconsin. I think Obama would do decent with African American voters, but I think at this point in time, I think Trump would probably not do as bad as he did in 2016, which would kind of fuel his victory in Pennsylvania. And so this is the map. I think Trump would have won 292 electoral votes to Obama's 246. I think Trump would have probably been more viewed as more favorably back then. His disapprovals would have been a lot lower, but his approvals wouldn't have been as high as they would have been right now, at least according to RCP. And so this is my final prediction for 2012. If Trump was the Republican nominee, he would be winning 292 electoral votes to Obama's 246. You got to understand, guys, at this point, Trump was still known as that real estate mogul guy, and him going into politics, going against Obama, he would still have a name for himself, even though Obama was the incumbent, and Obama was still a very vulnerable incumbent back then. So I do think this is the result. If you guys did enjoy the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post bell notifications so you don't miss another video that I post. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.